get shot up in this joint talking about these old crooked ass cops.
There's this new Arizona tea that I found at the Circle K that just opened up down the street. It is called Dragon Fruit Mango Juice Cocktail. And if you don't know, Arizona tea is my favorite drink, which is why I put it in the title of this video. Then of course, Star Wars, one of my favorite franchises. A new pack just came out with Kelleran Beck and that whole Grogu cut back from The Mandalorian. And I'm going to try the tea and then build this while I keep drinking it. So, let's begin. Ooh, pungent. However, sort of tastes like a combination. I feel like I've tasted it before. Sort of you know that herbal tea that they have, and then I also want to say that the one that came out last summer, the special one that came out last summer. Oh no, that was Tropsical. This is something else, but it sort of tastes similar. However, it does taste good. It's very fruity. Yeah, let's build the set now. Kelleran Beck, the Melanin Man himself. So one of the biggest problems I had with the new Bad Batch season, if you watched it, was the problem with the commandos. All right, and if you played the Republic Commandos game, I just streamed it a little bit ago. You know, like how skilled these guys are. You know their history. You know what they can do. And Scorch just isn't that, you know? He's just so absent in the story, and I don't understand why he's there then, other than like, oh guys, hey look, it's a dude, you know. I'm like, cool, that's the guy I've seen, but that's not the guy. That's not what he does. He doesn't just sit there and be a lapdog the whole time. And there will be spoilers if you haven't seen it, but at the end he barely does anything. And I'm just so irked by that. Like, why is this highly skilled guy that we know, especially, just so distant? Why doesn't he do anything? That was really disappointing to me. And all the other commandos too just suck wiener, bro. They just that one when the sniper guy and Omega were escaping from Tantus, and they get into a fight with Commando and he just smashes his head into a tree, and then he's just done, right? It's like they've got no hand-to-hand combat skills. They can't take a hit. Like, yeah, maybe you get your head thrown into a tree, but is a commando with full gear on just gonna be down for the count? I don't think so. Freaking Sev was being tortured on the Venator, and he was okay. I do not know where these lightsaber hilts are. Oh, they're probably in here, aren't they? Yep. I'm also very disappointed with the rest of the commandos, because again, they're just lapdogs. They're just there to look good, just to get oiled up and flex, and like, yeah, whoa, those guys look really awesome, but it's like they've got all the muscles but none of the strength. Because the commandos with the stripes on their helmet, at least I think they're like commando sergeants or something. It's kind of what I get from them. Also, just for equal representation here, I can't. Okay, it's turned off. We're gonna do one lightsaber hilt with like the little horizontal stripes on the top, and then we're gonna do one lightsaber hilt with like the other side with the more plain hilt side on top. for equal representation. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. The sergeants are just guarding children. They're not even guarding anything that could be a possible threat to them. There's my fourth piece. You little rascal, you come here. You ever be searching for a Lego piece for so long thinking that you genuinely lost it, and then you just turn over that one brick and it's like, oh, it was hiding there the whole time? Or even worse, when it looks like, when it's right next to another piece of like the same color and it's perfectly lined up, right? So you can't even tell that it's like, that it wasn't like one big piece. Also, at the end of the Bad Batch, what I thought was going to happen was that Scorch, when everybody got captured like they did, I thought Scorch was going to relate heavily to Hunter and what it felt like to be about to like lose your squad or something. Because I was thinking, no way that even if they break out all of the clones, are they going to be able to get out of that base alive? That's a giant secret base. No way that's going to be heavily protected. They're going to have so many guys. But no, they just release the clones, and of course they all die. They didn't all die, but it's like they might as well have done nothing except for the one guy, because he was the only one who was given dialogue, so obviously he was gonna have a special moment, right? But I thought he was gonna be like, oh, I know what it's like to lose my squad because Boss and Seb and Fixer are gone, and I thought we were gonna have a moment with them. We'll be like, oh, how'd you lose your squad? And we might get a flashback to like, oh, we get to see some commandos in like some commando action during the Clone Wars, like a flashback or something. But no, he didn't. They just ran, and then he got shot off a bridge, and then that's just the end of Scorch. It's so lame, right? He should have had something better written for him, and I just can't believe that he didn't. It is so frustrating for that to have had happened. Where did this go? Oh, it goes right there. Even if it does taste the same, I really recommend the tea. I really recommend the drink, because Arizona tea is never gonna miss. You know, if you don't like the fruity flavors, you got sweet tea, you got green tea, you got the herbal tea, which I eventually came around to. You got half and half. You have options, and there's definitely a bunch of fruity flavors. But oh, you don't like your fruit punch, your watermelon, your mango lineup? Well, cool. We've got kiwi, strawberry, we've got grapeade, we've got orangeade, we've got so much stuff, you know? Not me, I'm not a representative, but you know what I mean. If you stand for something hard enough, you eventually use we in the language you talk about it with. I would happily consider myself an Arizona stand. Stand? What is this, JoJo? And overall, with the whole Bad Batch and that ending, it sort of got me thinking about the Clone Wars and what did we really get from that as a whole, and what do we get from it now? And for the most part, I think it's just kind of lame. If you look at all of the Star Wars media that you get now as a whole, and in comparison, you have 7 seasons of Star Wars, The Clone Wars, which is great. Of course, we love that. You've got the movie, and then you've got a little bit of Bad Batch, and then you've got Ahsoka couple Ahsoka flashbacks, and then kind of, because some of them are just Anakin. You have that brief like Geonosis to Mandalore flashback, right? And then was it? Well, it couldn't have been Geonosis. She wasn't there yet. Well, in the second battle she was, and yeah, that's when she was younger. So yeah, but you got that, the movie, the flashbacks, and then a little bit of Bad Batch. And again, in the Bad Batch, I was really frustrated again because Rex's base gets attacked, and anybody who's not him or the other guy just dies. So it's like, can we have some of these guys? Let me have something. And, you know, they all die, so that's great. That sucks. And that's kind of it. Because for the last bit of Star Wars, it's just been so much... Look at that. It has like the little explosion thing. The light's not that good, but you slap this piece on, bang! Boom! You didn't see that coming, did you? But you get, it's just the ratio, you get so little Clone Wars now. It's just with, you get like your 3 seasons of like Boba, you got your season, you got Ahsoka, you've got Boba, the Mandalorian, you've got all of the movies, the sequel trilogy movies, which sucked, and those were Resistance, and like the Resistance timeline just doesn't really even make sense anymore. Because effectively, what the rebellion was an actual organized government effort to counter another organized like government effort. Now with the Resistance, it's just like they're fighting like a guerrilla war that they're losing, is what it feels like. And it's not fun to watch. It doesn't really give me it doesn't really scratch that Star Wars itch, you know? Oh, sticker time. Cool, let's see how much I screw this up. Okay, so the red is supposed to be at the bottom. So we gotta line up the white first. You know, the Lego YouTubers always make this look so seamless, but they have years of practice. I don't. Nope, it's crooked. God dang it. Well, that's ruined. Let's move on. And you know what would be really cool? There is a projected like Old Republic movie coming out with Darth Revan and Malak and all of them. So that would be great, but like that was a whole conflict, probably even bigger than the Clone Wars itself, that you could spend more time diving into. The start of the Dark Jedi, because before the term Sith even existed, before the traditional Sith that most people know of even existed, they weren't even called Sith, they were called Dark Jedi, just Jedi that had fallen to the dark side, right? So you could do a whole series on that, and that would be so freaking epic. And you want to know why? Because there would be so many lightsaber battles in that. Because back in the Old Republic, the Sith had an army the same size of the Jedi, and it was a time of actual conflict. So if you watch that animation that came out, I don't even remember when, of that the Old Republic animation, then you would know that there's a lot of lightsaber fighting going on, and it's actually good lightsaber fighting. You could even go over the sacking of Coruscant with Malgus again, but then show us like the follow through of what we saw from that animation. And you could animate it. That would be easier probably instead of getting a bunch of actors, but who knows, you could do it live action probably. It's Disney, they got the money, they can get the talent for that. Even in the Clone Wars, you could like why didn't we get to see the Battle of Jabin? Where's the battle? Like there's so much we didn't see of like Anakin as a Padawan again, like Jabin, like Sarish. Why didn't we see that? I'm gonna create that as a battle because I'm learning how to make maps in Men of War. So I'm going to make it. Deplex Heated, I saw his video. But that doesn't do the battle justice. And I'm talking in depth, like animations, everything. As much as I can on my computer so it doesn't overheat and explode. If you wanted to, you could cover Delta Squad. If you wanted to. They have their game, but after playing the game 2 times now, it is extremely condensed. because you go from Geonosis to a random Venator that's been taken over by Trandoshans to Kashyyyk. And then that's it. So, there was definitely in between. We only see them once in the Clone Wars when they're rescuing the dead Jedi from what Savage did. Well, it can't be a rescue of a dead Jedi if he's dead. But you know what I mean. And I think Commandos, or I don't really care. Take a different group of Commandos, flesh them out. Let's see what they're doing.
Yeah, y'all know what time it is.
Okay, well, I think it's enough Star Wars thoughts for me. I'm probably just going to skip ahead to when I finish this thing and be done with it. Okay, well, this is the final product. That's what we got. The speeder, I like it. It's pretty cool. It's got this little side cart thing here. It's got a bunch of, you know, those flappy things on the sides. I don't know why you'd want to. I guess it's for like if you're flying this thing horizontally and you scrape something, but I think if you're that far, the flaps aren't going to help you if you're in that position. I don't think you're just kind of already done at that point. It's also got a little carrier for little homie. And he can go in here. It's attachable. And you got this, which at least in the box, it looks like it's supposed to be a light post. Yeah, on the back, you can see right under the speeder, it's a light like a light thing right there for like you're supposed to land, I guess, or something like a lighthouse, but if it was miniature. So that's that. And Kelleran Beck, honorary black guy in the Star Wars universe, which we don't have a lot of. If we're being completely honest, we got Lando. As far as like main guys, we got Lando. Well, he's not really a main character, is he? Whatever. You got Lando, and then other dude Samuel Jackson as Mace Windu, and now we've got Kelleran Beck. And of course, can't forget our titular character, Grogu. Very big ears. Got the size pretty good on that. Cuteness scale. You know, he's a little guy. I that's what I'd rate him. Unlike absolutely adorable to non-existent, I'd put him at little guy. He's just a little guy, you know. If girls have I'm just a girl, then he's just a little guy. And then your 501st Troopers. Cool, right? I think one of the most important things. Actually, no, they don't do it there. And some of the art for. Hold on, I have to go Sith mode here. Hood is on full display. Yeah, you like that flare right there? That's that Emperor Palpatine flare. Anyway, and some of the art on the boxes for the clone troopers that are on them, sometimes they're shooting red. Don't really like that. They shot blue until the Empire came around. Now they shoot red. So there's actually a reason for that. Blue, think of like EMP. Blue was more effective against droids, and that's why the Separatists shot red, because red is more effective against like biological targets such as clones who were made out of flesh and blood. So that's why when we get to the Rebellion, to the Empire, when there's not droids, that's why you see mostly red lasers. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty cool. Not really much else to say about it. Yeah.